Have you been feeding kitchen scraps to your chicken? If so, stop. I learned it the hard way. My once reliable egg-laying hens suddenly stopped laying. I was confused, I was frustrated, and I was desperate to figure out why. Then I discovered the shocking truth. My well-intentioned kitchen scraps were the exact problem. In this video, I'm going to reveal kitchen scraps can hurt egg production, how the wrong scraps can cause malnutrition and stress, and what to feed instead for strong, consistent laying, and lastly, the number one mistake that can ruin egg production for weeks. Stick around until the end because I'll share the one food item that can completely stop egg laying, and you might be feeding it to your chickens right now. Before we dive in, hit the like button if you love chickens and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any game-changing tips, hacks, and tricks. So why kitchen scraps can stop egg laying? Feeding scraps can seem harmless, right? I mean, chickens eat everything, so what is the problem? Here's what I didn't realize. The wrong scraps can mess up with their diet, can stop egg production, and can even cause health problems. So how can scraps stop egg laying? Number one, because of their low nutrient density, because kitchen scraps lack the protein, they lack the calcium needed for strong eggshells. Number two, because it usually contains too many carbs and fats. So think of kitchen scraps, mostly we've got bread, pasta, processed food. All of this can cause weight gain and can result in lower egg output. And number three, it's because of their toxins and anti-nutrients inside those kitchen scraps. So some scraps, not all of them, some of them contain harmful chemicals that can stress the liver and the digestive system. They contain some spices, they contain a little bit of ketchup here and there. All this can hurt the chicken. And lastly, because of mold and spoilage risks, because rotten food can introduce harmful bacteria and pests as well, leading to illnesses. So I used to throw the leftovers into the run thinking I was saving money until my egg count dropped almost overnight. My mistake? Too many scraps and not enough protein. So if you're noticing fewer eggs, the first thing you should check is what is going into their feed bowl. Not all scraps are bad, but some are downright dangerous for egg production. Avoid these kitchen scraps at all costs, starting with raw potatoes and peels because they contain solanine, which is absolutely toxic to chicken. Avoid giving them avocado, especially the skins and the pits, because these contain persin, which is deadly to chickens. Avoid giving them bread and pasta because it fills them up with empty calories. There's barely any nutrition there. And also, do not give them any citrus fruit because it can interfere with their calcium absorption. Don't give them any garlic because it can cause anemia if you give them in large amounts. There's also a little bit of hype going on about onions and garlic as well. So I just personally give them a little bit of garlic with the chili and the tomatoes sometimes because it is it sets to help with egg laying, and it also helps to boost their immune system as well. And definitely do not give them chocolate or coffee grounds because they're highly toxic to chicken, and do not give them any mold or rotten food because it can cause digestive and respiratory issues. So if it's something that you don't eat, just don't give it to chickens if it's moldy or rotten or if it's old as well. One time I gave my hens some leftover pasta and bread from dinner. Please don't judge me because I was still in the beginning of my chicken keeping journey and I thought it was harmless, but within days my egg production tanked. Why? They were filling up on junk instead of a balanced feed. So if you're feeding these, I want you please to stop right now. It might be the reason your chickens are not laying. Let's talk about some safe kitchen scraps that boost egg production, ones that I want you to focus on. Not all kitchen scraps are bad. Some can actually boost egg laying and keep your flock healthy. So let's talk about some safe kitchen scraps for chicken. Starting with number one, leafy greens like lettuce, kale, spinach. These are super high in vitamins. Next up, we've got pumpkin and squash. These are great for gut health, and I've also created a full video giving my chicken some pumpkin seeds and they absolutely loved it. I did an experiment here and there, so that video will be linked in the description box below if you would like to see it. You do give them berries and apples, but make sure that there are no seeds because berries and apples are really good for antioxidants for the immune support as well. If you are able to give them some cooked eggs and shells, because these are high in protein and calcium. Now I want you to give the one type of kitchen scrap, which is vegetable scraps like carrots, cucumber, zucchini as well, tomatoes. These are hydrating, these are nutrient rich. You can give them some watermelon as well, because it's been really hot lately. We've been getting a lot of watermelon, so I usually give them some of the scraps and they absolutely love it, and it helps to keep their hydration up top notch. So my hens personally love fresh greens, especially the fresh lettuce as well as the Swiss chard. They absolutely love it. And when I started balancing scraps with high protein feed, my egg production shot back up. So if you want more eggs, just swap out the junk scraps for these egg boosting foods. So let's talk about the number one mistake that stops egg laying. Now, for the worst mistake that ruins egg laying is too many scraps. Even healthy scraps should be less than 10% of their diet. If your chicken eats too many treats, they ignore their feed. If your chicken are not getting enough protein, around 16 to 18%, as well as extra calcium, the eggs will stop coming. I made this mistake when I got too generous with scraps. My hens stopped eating their layer feed, and within a week, no eggs. Lesson learned. Balanced diet first, treats second. So if your hens have stopped laying, just simply cut out the scraps for a week and see if egg production improves. If your egg production is still not improved, I've got a couple of videos for you where I did a couple of different experiments on my chickens. That includes giving them a specific mix that I made, a high protein mix. The other experiment was giving them chilies and tomatoes as well. That really has helped. I'll include that in the Raising Chickens playlist that you can access on the channel. So do you feed your chicken kitchen scraps? If yes, only the right ones, focus on them and in moderation. What is your experience with feeding scraps? Have you noticed any changes in egg production? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. And before you go, hit like and subscribe for more chicken keeping tips and tricks, and turn on the notifications so you never miss out on a new video. Take care and have a great day.